Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. A 1 versus 1 honest and musky for you today. We shall be watching in the left corner. Paradox fanning for the Germans for the Kampfgruppe swiftly assembled to throw back a Soviet advance commanded by PLI CaptainSPrice, which sounds awfully much like a discount brand with a nautical theme. CaptainSPrice, yar har har, something like that anyways. And we are noticing here a rather unusual startup here for CaptainSPrice. We are seeing a special rifle command being hastily erected. Whereas of course the infantry company immediately goes up for Paradox with this grenadier starting out there. Pioneers heading towards the west. Interesting enough, no movement here towards the fuel point right away. Perhaps he might be making a move for this one on the other hand. But a special rifle command start. Might he be going for some Strafniki right away? Combat engineers heading west themselves. Neither player seems to be going for the immediate closest fuel point, which is definitely interesting to note. Second squad of Grenadier arriving for Paradox. And of course, this kind of start, of course, does have an immediate fall here for the Soviet players. Of course, that is, their beginnings will be a bit delayed. They won't be able to grab as much territory, and for that matter, not get as many combat troops on the field as possible. So in that sense, there's a bit of a minor, well, backside to that kind of thing. And there we go, the Strafniki arrives, ready to take on the fascists to redeem themselves of their sins. But my only sin was being an accountant. Shut up. Anyways, Grenadiers advancing, MG42 following up here. Points being secured. And there we go, going for the fuel point again, rather slightly more unusual capping order. So not the swiftest nor most effective. At least not on my Panopticon. And there we go, the Strafniki advance with the SVT-40 rifles. In general, penal troops would be rather variously equipped depending on the actual situation. If they're not expected for combat, of course, they wouldn't be very well equipped. Or for that matter, the actual expense would need to be a diversion, otherwise they could be equipped with large amounts of submachine guns. I suppose semi-automatic rifles wouldn't have been out of the picture either, if that was felt necessary. Then it's quickly going into the house here, and that might give them the advantage, particularly since penal troops with themselves rushing forward and get caught outside. Rather disadvantageous situation. In fact, right as they get moving in front with a broadside, immediately one poor bastard goes down, trying to get away. So engagement up north. More penal troops arriving here for CaptainSPrice.
We have liberated the objective.
And looks like the penal troops are making a counter-attack, hoping to get into the house, or at least catch the Grenadiers. Will they make it this time? No, instead they take up positions here by the shrubberies and the trees. Grenadiers once more take up position. Oh, well, these penal troops are already taking quite a beating. This is not really going well for CaptainSPrice. He's just pulled back, reinforce, and choose another point of engagement. In fact, now there's an MG42 moving in, down to 2 men. The rest leg it very quickly. And there we go, this force immediately shifts path, realizing it's not going to go very well. I mean, they'll quickly redeem their sins, but they'll also be dead in the process, which I imagine they'd actually like to enjoy their redemption. And there we go, following up with conscripts, likely to indeed, yes, there we go, merge with the troops, thus ensuring he actually has to pay a smaller reinforcement price, because then he'll need to reinforce the conscripts, which are cheaper than the penal troops. So nicely played there by CaptainSPrice. Grenadiers being engaged. Another Grenadiers, one way, 3 Grenadiers, 1 MG42. Light machine gun up, 1 squad of Grenadiers. That is also good. That's definitely going to make it harder for the penal troops. Then we're going to get a problem, unless, of course, CaptainSPrice uses the cover. Well, looks like here the Grenadiers will need to retreat, but will they be able to retreat in time? And there we go, the penal troops wipe them out. Well done there. The SVT-40 semi-automatics proving quite lethal. There we go, another squad moving up, and the conscripts are following up with the communists. It looks like he's realizing he can't do anything here. He's going to shift his axis of advance. Well done. And push up towards the west, where there's less resistance from the fascists.
How can we help?
And the LMG squad up here will be ready to hold back any Strafniki.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Another engagement up here. Grenadiers being engaged. MD42 might want to shift over. Trying to get into the house, but already one gets shot down. Several get shot down right in front of the building. Only 2 men left. Poor health. Need to get out of there. A second light machine gun. These Grenadiers need to get the hell out of there, and it might in fact be too late here. Could be cut down on the retreat by the conscripts. Down to 1 man. Will he make it? Oh, incredibly lucky there. Incredibly lucky. And a satchel charge. And the squad got wiped out. Oh, goodness gracious. But looks like they also lost a few of their own. And then another got shot here by the Grenadiers. Rather nice sharp shooting there. Swiftly advancing onwards.
Forces are securing our territory.
Not sure why he did that, but looks like he got lucky. Paradox did not stop his Grenadiers out and fire the light machine gun at point blank. Otherwise, that would pretty much have been game over for those penal troops. Now going for the cut-off point. That's not going to help against all the other resources which he controls, because Paradox has otherwise been able to advance. Of course, note here, Doctrines are Jaeger Infantry, joint operations, assault support. Should have done that earlier. CaptainSPrice has already gone for shock rifle infantry, though. Also lost his pioneers. Moving on, looks like he's already taken up, so might be an idea to get something a bit more heavy hitting, or perhaps some vehicles. Light machine gun Grenadiers. Ooh, be careful, of course, about moving up closer to the light machine gun, in particular when you're not using cover at all. That rather makes it an awful lot easier for the Grenadiers with the light machine gun to do a lot of damage. And there we go, right when it goes off, immediately killing some poor bastard. Not so good engagement there from CaptainSPrice.
Territory secured. We are losing a sector.
And again, be careful about fighting a light machine gun in no cover. And for the match up close, generally don't want to move towards it. There are specific rules for engaging a light machine gun, which is largely rely on using cover and other things, basically to minimize its effect as much as possible. Troops getting caught by a machine gun and getting absolutely sawed to bits here in the hedges. And immediately forced away. But CaptainSPrice continued to forage onwards, like a mechanized company going up here for Paradox and the Kampfgruppe. 3 squads of Strafniki up here for CaptainSPrice. Likely we'll be using the conscripts to merge, of course, once he's fully reinforced. Healing up there as well. Good, good. And there we go, 1 penal battalion ready to move out, and of course a cheaper cost. Again, that's clearly a part of his strategy. Get a bunch of penal troops and they use conscripts to largely enforce them, since of course that means it will be a lot cheaper overall, which is definitely going to be quite advantageous. And there we go, forging onwards. Although it looks like in some cases does reinforce regularly, but I suppose that can't be helped when he only has 1 conscript squad to do the reinforcement with. There we go, Grenadier squad pushed away, heavy losses inflicted. Panzer Grenadier being pushed out. He could consider another squad, he could also consider a scout car or 2, could prove advantageous. Also in terms of doctrines right now, I think considering what he's looking at, he should either go for Jaeger Infantry or assault support. Assault support to get the officer, of course. You could also go joint operations for the officer, or here for the Gewehr for the police and ambush camouflage. Basically, he wants to improve his infantry as much as possible to help deal with the penal troops. Otherwise, I mean, he is going to be fighting a losing fight due to the fact that the penal troops, well used, can actually put up a lot of damage with their semi-automatic rifles.
Yes.
And already here, I mean, this squad is quickly closing in on veterans too.
Reconnaissance flight ready.
And he went for joint operations, so will he actually be getting the officer to actually get some concentrated fire off? I would definitely strongly urge that.
Panzer Grenadiers! Bastards are trying to kill us!
Panzer's getting caught. Quickly into the building.
We are losing a sector.
There we go, going to catch these. Panzer got close. Bund grenade only kills Fedorov.
Enemy infantry has been caught.
And quickly getting back into the house, and there we go, doing a nice bit of damage there. Again, do not underestimate the penal troops. They can be quite devastating if you know how to use them. And for example, using them in buildings is quite good. Otherwise, you know, cover in Deckung. And there we go, now all of a sudden these Panzers are taking some heavy losses.
Our brave infantry is dying.
And there we go, another Pioneer squad wiped out. These penal troops are absolute fiends. And there we go, the Panzer Gunner just got caught off. I mean, Paradox is clearly not having an easy time with this, quickly getting some more replacement troops, but losses are heavy. He might be inflicting some heavy damage here and there on Paradox, but well, Paradox might be doing the same, but at the same time he's losing a lot more overall.
Trying to flank.
Of course, the penal troops do also have the advantage of being basically larger squads. And there we go, he lost the MG42. This is not looking good for the Kampfgruppe. Right now, all of a sudden, at one point they had the advantage, now things are quickly turning against them. He might be underestimating the penal troops by the looks of things. Which is definitely playing out here to the advantage of CaptainSPrice.
Yeah. Hey, fucker. Stick close.
One should definitely not underestimate the penal troops. Not. And these gentlemen will soon be veterans too, which is going to make them that much more unfriendly. Since that's going to mean they'll be a lot more accurate and even be a bit tougher to deal with.
How can we help?
Again, I would recommend an officer out. Get some concentrate to find the troops in that way, increase the amount of firepower he can pour into one squad. He should also consider getting up some flamethrowers for his pioneers. Quick live grenade, and there we go, one poor shot down. Nego penal troops advancing against the grenadiers. Taking up cover behind the tree, good job. A rifle grenade could of course be using the knife, but there you go, I mean they're still taking a lot of damage, and there we go. Now all of a sudden the advantage is showing to the grenadiers, is forced them out of cover, and there we go, closer towards the light machine gun. And now their panzer grenadiers following up the string of but there we go.
Yes?
Still, the grenadier squad is not looking too grand. Now the grenadiers at the very least are checking up, oh, well, veteran up, and there we go. Veteran G2. I would still recommend some flamethrowers for the pioneers. Basically, Paradox needs to get as much firepower into the few units. Yes, we also know here that CaptainSPrice is mining up an awful lot around here to basically ensure apparently his opponent can't rush in with armor. Good thinking ahead there. That machine gun grenadiers here. Need to be careful. There are lots of penal troops with lots of satchel charges.
HQ has been upgraded. Medium armor.
And there we go, merging with the depleted penal battalion unit. Well played, as usual. Going for the cut-off point there. Things are certainly turning sour against the Kampfgruppe. Taking up fully to the 4th tier there. Paradox is clearly rushing in. It's actually time to look at CaptainSPrice. Note here, 3 penal battalions, 1 veteran G2, 1 very close to veteran G2. There go, taking some losses. The light machine gun definitely one of the things that are currently holding things together for the Kampfgruppe and Paradox. But there goes satchel charge, barely getting out of the things in the nick of time before the entire facade gets blown to bits, leaving a nice see-through effect on the building. Overall, Paradox is gaining back some territory, but he is suffering some rather extensive losses. And we're in fact now seeing here a support Rem Campanea. CaptainSPrice is not bothering with any sort of armor rush. He's got plenty of infantry, so now he's going to follow up with some field guns. So more of an infantry approach here for the 50th Rifle Division. Engaging the Grenadiers here, and the Grenadiers could get run off. Definitely not fit for fighting that Veteran G2 Penal Battalion unit.
Fresh units on the field.
And there we go, the field gun. Pioneer's being retreated. He's likely going to go for that heavy weapons core, or heavy tank core, whatever. Panzer Grenadiers supported by the Grenadiers light machine gun blaring away. Trying to get that few point. Nego Panzer's doing what they can. He probably should have focused them first, but there we go. Retreating, taking losses. Oh, he moved the Grenadiers right when he shouldn't have. He should have just been firing away on the penal troops as they were retreating. And looks like CaptainSPrice is very worried about some sort of armor rush. He's keeping the field gun in a rather more reserved position for the time being. Interesting, interesting. Clearly shows he's a bit worried about something. Otherwise, if he wasn't, he'd probably have been moving it a lot further forward towards the front line. And there we go, heavy panzer corps up for Paradox, or at least going up. Slowly but surely. But of course, very little infantry here, and he's going to have a very hard time actually holding any of the territory right now, which of course will be to the advantage to CaptainSPrice with his larger infantry force, of course, currently more veteran, and basically overall more mean infantry force.
Do you need something?
Second field gun on the way. CaptainSPrice taking no chances whatsoever. He wants to be fully insured against any enemy armor.
The sector is secure.
There we go. The two grenadiers versus the two penal troops.
They are not real soldiers.
Slowly forcing away the grenadiers. That machine gun, they're doing what they can.
Capture.
He could upgrade with a flamethrower, but looks like he's not interested in it. Interesting enough. And there you go. Rive grenade. Ooh, kills only one. More penal troops moving in. All of a sudden, the grenadiers have found themselves a bit outnumbered.
Everyone deserves a chance at redemption.
And there we go. He needs to consider retreating.
Can you believe we did
Another Vet 22 penal battalion unit. The last of the grenadiers retreating.
This now belongs to the people and
Do you need
workers of
something?
the
The Soviet Union.
CaptainSPrice.
So the question is, what will Paradox be going for next?
We now have access to KV-8 flamethrower tanks.
KV-8's now available.
Taking fire.
Still no flamethrower from the Pioneers. Would very much like to see that.
What do you need?
These two units will need some reinforcement. Might be able to get the conscripts moving over there. Merge with one of them at the very least.
Gino squad.
And there you go. A Panther has arrived. The Panzerkampfwagen 15 in to reinforce the Kampfgruppe at the front lines. Not really that necessary. I mean, with the MP's upgrade on it, it can certainly do alright. But, you know, the current large worry is the infantry. And so far, I mean, in that sense, a Sturmpanzer 4 would have been a much better choice. It absolutely devastated all the infantry.
We're under attack. Complete.
Or some more Panzer Grenadiers, or, you know, something else, like the officer. So in that help, I can't help but feel that Paradox is slightly mistaking what he needs to do here to deal with all of this. Penal troops are quick to retreat in the face of the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5.
Soldiers ready.
The sector is at risk.
Another squad of conscripts. CaptainSPrice adding into the infantry pool.
The sector has been cut off.
Strategy are ready under armored attack.
Taking a bit of nasty fire there.
We have more conscripts.
Panther needs to be a bit careful. Without any support.
I have the men ready.
Also noting here that Paradox's troops are a bit spread out at the moment. There we go. The second squad of Panzer Grenadier.
Riflemen ready.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
And of course it also means that currently Paradox is having an awful hard time actually holding what he has. Now he might lose a Vet 22 Grenadier squad, which is not really what he wants at the moment.
Now we wait.
Ach du lieber. Oh,
This land belongs
it
to
looks like he
all
got
of us.
lucky again.
Target.
Panther advanced up pretty far. Looks like he's already suffered a bit of anti-tank grenade damage. Or perhaps it's the field gun right there. Looks like CaptainSPrice is moving ahead his field guns now to deal with the fascist armoured threat. And then for some reason Paradox moves straight from the field guns again. But he will need to deploy a lot of infantry now to support the centre. No, leaving only one squad to deal with it. Quick bun grenade, which does nothing. Ach, nein. There we go, field gun continues to fire away. And looks like a light artillery barrage going in there. Likes it, Infanteriegeschütz. There we go, quick barrage. And looks like the Panzermen were able to get the drop of the conscripts over here while he was occupying the centre. Well played there by Paradox. And a KV-8 flamethrower tank has been sent in to burn out the fascists. That's definitely going to hurt. Panther so far having limited success on its own. Veterans free grenadiers moving up. Lovely, lovely.
The sector is secure.
They're a bit exposed at the moment. They're definitely able to do a lot of damage now. With that accuracy bonus there to light machine gun. Field guns are quick to open up. We might see the satchel charge in response. There we go. Penal troops are taking more and more damage. So there we go, the satchel charge in return.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture artillery.
Grenadiers manage to get out just in the nick of time before an entire part of the house gets blown to bits, and the KV-8 moves in to finish off the job. Grenadiers very much need to get out of there as soon as possible. Panther moves in, but without repairs. Very dangerous situation. These Grenadiers, I think he's trying to Panther-Faust it, but obviously it's not going as well as he would like to. But time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is, I mean, Mr. CaptainSPrice has got plenty of infantry, he's got several field guns, he's got KV-8s overall, he's got a much larger force than his opponent at the moment. And currently I think his better strategy is basically just try and pressure Paradox across the front line and take advantage of the fact that Paradox has very few units at the moment. So basically, you know, attack here, pressure up there, pressure up here, and also pressure up the centre. You know, form up smaller combat groups, can sort of do some damage, and in case something goes very wrong, can easily support each other. That, I think, would largely do the trick, and as long as you keep the field guns here around the centre to then react, I mean, the Panther shouldn't be that much of a threat either. I mean, looking at Paradox, on the other hand, I mean, maybe a Pack 43 could help against the KV-8 for all the buildings, but otherwise, you know, either a Howitzer to help deal with the field guns, or, well, at the moment, a Panzerwerfer could also do the trick, but more infantry is needed. Now he's got himself a sniper. I'm not entirely sure that's the right thing to get in this current situation with all the infantry running around, more specifically infantry, which can very quickly cut the sniper down if he gets caught, and that's a bit the problem. I think he should have opted for more Panzer Grenadier or some more Grenadiers, otherwise a Panzerwerfer might help a bit, but now pull back the Panther, get repaired, also get an officer out. Get something to boost your infantry's combat power against those penal troops, otherwise he might not do well in the longer run either. Because currently it's been very much a war of attrition, and one which is very much played out to the advantage of CaptainSPrice, thanks to those conscripts merging with his penal battalions, that way keeping the costs down in that regard. There's something very vital to remember. In fact, it looks like this squad is closing in on Veterans E3, which is definitely going to make things a lot more unpleasant for Paradox and the Kampfgruppe. Getting a second Pioneer squad, good, but again, pull back the Panther fully, get it repaired, and maybe get some flamethrowers up. I think that would really benefit him a lot. Would basically ensure his Pioneers could do a lot more damage to support his troops, and of course perhaps burn away some of those Bolsheviks. Let's return to the fight.
Requested units have arrived.
I'm an excellent marksman.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Pull back the Panther fully. Don't get tempted to pull it into the fight.
Ready for orders.
It really
Our
can't
lines
stand
of
much
supply
more.
are disrupted.
Grenadiers reporting.
The enemy is taking our territory. Reinforcements complete.
Overall, neither players really make much use of their doctrine at the moment,
Liberated the objective.
which is a bit unfortunate, I think.
Scharfschütze.
There we go, sniper adding a bit of pressure there.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
And Pioneers running into a world of hurt there with the penal troops. The Stravniki.
Ja?
Panzer here.
KV-8 rolling ahead.
Enemy panzer!
One of two flamethrower tanks that were generally used by the Soviets. The other one was actually one based on the T-34. I can't remember the name of it, I think it was the OT-34 or something like that. Otherwise, most of the flamethrowers Soviets used were used by the infantry. The Germans in general are much more prolific users of flamethrower vehicles and armour. With the Flampanzer 3, one based on a French tank. Of course we have the Flampanzer Wagen, and they even had one based on the Hetzer. I believe it was, in fact. And there goes assault going in, Panther large repaired. But again, that KV-8 is making it very difficult for Paradox to move ahead, in particular since CaptainSPrice is doing a well job in actually keeping his KV-8 support by the field guns, meaning the Panther can't really do in and deal some damage. There we go. Flanking up with an anti-tank grenade, trying to disable the engine. Panther being forced back. Sniper up here, might want to move in and support, or at least pull him back. Of course, right now, of course, he can't retreat, he'll get cut down. So he needs something to actually clear a path up.
Shoots in here.
A possibility here might be trying to unleash a light artillery barrage on the field guns. These cannoneers need to get out of there. Quick,
Red Army unit attacking!
there we go. Paradox moving the Panther ahead again. Very intent on getting that KV-8, and there we go. Finally with the damage engine. And the Grenadiers got wiped out. He was too slow retreating there.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Pioneers should move in, deal with the field guns, call in some artillery. Lightest artillery! Get the Panther out of there. Oh dear, things are turning out to be too much. And now looks like the Panther might go down. Reverse move. KV-8, close going down. Oh, never mind.
We have lost a Panzer.
If only again he'd called in some artillery there. Oh well, never mind, never mind. Grenadiers looks like they are going to try and see if they can't avenge their comrades in the tank. There you go. Panzerfaust finishes off the job.
My record speaks for itself.
My record speaks for itself, yeah? Apparently.
Pioneers!
Looks like he might be trying for another Panther. There we go.
Grid point 778-604.
But he's managed to force away, and there we go, quickly getting the field guns out of there while the rest of his force recuperates. Except for these gentlemen right down there ready to stop any fascists trying to encroach on glorious Soviet territory. And there we go. The Panzer Grenadiers getting themselves one hell of a reception.
Sector secure.
We've added to the fatherland!
Again, gets the officer. The officer is a wondrous unit. Much underused, I would say. Much to my great sadness.
This is a nice spot of land, and it is ours. I'm an
Looks like he's moving in the sniper. He could, of course, also try and use the incendiary explosive rounds, the Beobachtungspatronen.
From the fatherland.
Basically meaning it was an observation round. Well, I'm not entirely sure how it would have been used, but I suppose to mark targets in some explosive, nasty manner. Grenadiers are getting absolutely overwhelmed. 2 penal troops battalion coming up with the combat engineers in tow, blowing up a building for apparently shits and giggles. Sniper needs to be careful, don't move too far ahead. Paradox keeps spending out his units too far when he really can't afford it. It's very dangerous.
The enemy is attempting to
Come
steal
on,
our
fire the
sector.
B-Patronen.
We are in contact with the enemy!
Panther doing what he can here with machine guns and main gun. And the Pioneers are getting absolutely overwhelmed. CaptainSPrice is on the move. And there you go. Sniper finally cut off and killed. Rather unfortunate. And not calling in the light artillery barrage on the field guns instead on the nearby infantry. Bit of a shame there. Ultimately wasting quite a bit of munitions.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Really desperately low on infantry now. Panzerwerfer now moving out.
Cut off.
Bit of artillery might help.
Gunfire is ready.
Alert!
Enemy spotters trying to engage.
Ooh, nasty hit there from the field gun, direct hit on poor Heinz. Satchel charge, blowing up a small house. And 27 kills on these gentlemen.
Ready!
Light artillery
Absolutely
barrage
dreadful stuff.
ready
Another
to
light
launch.
artillery barrage ready. Panther though taking an awful lot of damage, an awful lot. Pioneers are lacking.
Panzerwerfer deployed.
And there you go, the Panzerwerfer.
So much blood!
Enemy Soldaten! Panzerwerfer is ready for action.
And firing away. I imagine against the field guns. Oh! Almost getting us caught there and retreat. But finally able to do some damage, finally to avenge some of all of those killed, although not an awful lot at the moment.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Still not an awful lot at the
We
moment.
are ready for action.
The new unit has arrived.
Pioneers ready for anything!
The Russians are attacking!
The enemy is fighting back.
Ready!
Every man has fear. Fight and keep each other alive.
Just shooting us to shit! Sector secure!
And there go MG42 sending up to open up the Grenadiers. That's definitely done well in the service of Comrade Stalin.
By me!
Need to retreat those Grenadiers. Please.
You have a rocket target?
And swiftly moving up the Panzerwerfer for another swift barrage to punish the Bolsheviks. Getting a few kills. Conscripts moving. Looks like he. Oh yes, he's going to see if he can't get it. A nice anti-tank grenade right there, blowing up the engine. Rifle damage doing what he can. Panther doing what he can to protect it.
Sharpshooter has arrived.
Getting another sniper. I can't really help but feel that's the wrong thing to get at this very stage of the fight.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Territory claimed.
Yes? Grenadiers reporting objective captured.
Again, Paradox playing a very dangerous game at the moment.
Ready for orders. Panzerwerfer is ready for
And not
action.
one, I think, which will end up very happily for him at this stage. Popping back here to CaptainSPrice.
Supply lines have been cut.
What do you need? It's just a Strafniki. No great loss. Standing by.
Grenadiers might go down then again, their veterans, he might save them a bit.
Set to go.
Looks like it did.
The enemy
Splendid.
is taking what we have secured.
You have orders?
Well, one veteran defeat, the rest of his infantry squad is veteran 2. Overall, CaptainSPrice has done very well with his infantry.
Ready.
Clearly showing himself as quite the competent infantry commander. Actually lovely to see. In particular, considering he did it with penal as such, rarely used infantry otherwise. Using the field gun to bombard the sniper.
The sector is secure.
Cheeky. But clearly clever. And oh, we might be seeing an IS-2 being sent in to support here, the 50th Rifle Division. And there we go. The IS-2, the Josef Stalin 2. Panzerwerfer rolls up ahead. Unleashing a punishing barrage.
He died for the good of the Soviet Union.
Almost got all of them. Impressive. Ah, that's going to hurt a lot more.
Supply sector under attack.
And there we go. Charging ahead.
We have been honored for our bravery.
Grenadiers need to get away, and there go another veterans with 3 penal battalion. Grenadiers wiped out. There we go, IS-2 versus Panther. Field gun moving up as well. Field guns, in fact. Panther going to take an awful lot of fight on this advancing. Panzerwerfer firing, and there we go. Satchel charge. The Panther's not pulling back. Oh, actually, a terrible loss for the Vaterland. And the Panzerwerfer actually missed pretty much everything. And there we go. Game over. A loss for Circumference, desperately thrown into the fight. Ultimately did not stand a challenge. I can't help but feel it was partly due to the fact that it seemed like Paradox was rather feeling he was playing against something else rather than a lot of infantry. He didn't focus on getting the infantry done quickly. He was more concerned about some sort of big armoured threat, which only came about until the very end, once the infantry had already done most of the work alongside the field guns. I mean, he went for joint operation, which is more the doctrine you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a much more statically playing player one with lots of S-35s, artillery and such, he should have either gone for something that was dealing more, you know, mobile combat, either again Jaeger infantry, for just more specifically focusing on the infantry, or the assault support, you know, with the officer, with the strafing runs, with the fragmentation bombing runs, with the Tiger tank. Instead, you know, he went joint operation and he didn't really get the one thing that would have worked the best again for the officer. So in that sense, I can't help but feel that it was rather due to some errors in judgment here from Paradox, which cost him the game, particularly once he really had few units, he kept spraying them out, which again made it easy. I mean, it's actually a well-played strategy, and it might have been also what caught Paradox off guard, because he wasn't entirely sure what to expect. What would CaptainSPrice here be doing next? What be getting after all these penalties? I'm sure he might have been a bit worried. He was thinking, alright, he's gone for a lot of infantry, he's going to go for some tanks, and instead, you know, he got perhaps, you know, completely caught off guard because, hang on a minute, he's going for field guns. That's not fair. But again, you know, you can do that, and that's clearly what CaptainSPrice did. He played a very infantry heavy, you know, with support weapon strategy, which actually turned out to be working quite well. So nicely done then. Of course, in the end he followed up with an IS-2, but by then it was largely there. And again, it might have been simply that Paradox were confused, but overall, I mean, I really think, you know, he made the wrong doctrinal choice, and he should have gone first for Sturmpanzer. Well, Panther then up, great, but the Sturmpanzer 4, again, considering he knew what he was facing, which was not an awful lot of infantry, he should have gone for the Sturmpanzer 4. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned a thing or two or three. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own to propagandacast@gmail.com. Be sure to mark it and all that so I know what I'm dealing with. Otherwise, cheers.